The last stand Camaro, and last I left off, I got the residue off the top of the hood there, got the hood stripe painted black, and I'm going to let it sit probably for today and let it truly dry, and then I'm going to start ripping off the tape. I got the tape ripped off on the mirror here. There's a little bit of yellow. I got to go in. I just got to basically spray a little bit of that and take a little brush and touch up a few little areas, and I'll be good to go on that. But I want to let it sit and dry, and then next week I am going to take Future, and that's the way I do it on all these RC cars. Is I basically put the it is pretty shiny, but that'll make it a little more shinier and give it a little bit of a protected on there as well. But anyway, after I get the tape off, we'll do some touch up, and Camaro will be done, and then we'll start taping off this next week, and then we'll start painting it, which it's going to be it's kind of a, I want to say a gray bluish color, the best way to explain it. But anyway, we'll jump on that next. But we're going to do the get rid of the tape and see where I missed the paint on it next week. The Big E, last I left off, I got the nacelles on, excuse me, the Bomarcs, and got the wires, got them lit up, so they're working a-okay. No problems. Been letting it sit for a while so that you can so it can make sure everything works on it. And what I'm going to do now after that is I want to start putting on the rest of the parts, and hopefully I'll have most of that assembled in the next video. But for the nacelle caps, one thing I did do is I went and bought me some frosted glass. I really would like to have a little smaller bottle, but the bigger one just I had a coupon and it was just cheap, so I frosted it just enough just to not distort it, but just makes it looks a little more realistic. And I did that on the Franklin as well. If you can actually see it, it kind of makes it I don't want to say a flat. And that's basically what it is just a hardcore flat. But anyway, got that, and it's ready to be put on the Franklin. And speaking of the Franklin, we got some names. The Growler, and if you notice the blank one, that's the Mako, the Hammerhead, and the Wahoo. And these are from Fedoratron.com, and I don't know the price or anything of that nature just yet, but I cut out the Mako. I put the Mako on here. Perfect fit, and you can either spray it on as a template, or I'm just going to cut them out and use these as the nameplate itself. Just glue it on, because if you really want to get down to it, if it fits, you can rescribe the panel lines. You can even rescribe it through the brass etch if you wanted to. But anyway, I think it works out just right. But anyway, I had the Mako on here, and I haven't done this in a long time. I actually forgot I had it on there. I didn't tack it down, and I think I moved it, and when I did, I lost it. I don't know where it fell off. I think it's got to be in the floor, but I do not see any brass, and I've been on my knees all morning looking for it, or it fell somewhere in a crack, or it fell somewhere and I'm just not seeing it. I'm going to probably I may have to pull everything off the workbench and just give it a good once over, because I do not see it at all. So Elliot, I sent you an email to acquire another one of these. But anyway, these are fantastic. I highly recommend if he offers them at Fedoratron.com, because the names, different names, just makes the ship just even much more cooler. But anyway, photo etch for the Franklin here. I got it assembled. I got the nacelles. It's actually it's a great kit for lighting, because everything is basically channeled off, so you can just run wires through it, and it's just I think just a great piece of engineering for that reason. But anyway, I got the saucer on, nacelles on. It's just when I had to wire it, I just had to basically do it in sections and work my way to the nacelles. But everything works, and I'll try to show that one in the next one. Very little sanding. I think there's a little bit like on the edge here, and I just got a couple more parts to do. If you can see, a little sanding there. very little on the edge, and probably a little bit of tulip just here and there for especially around like the God, where did I see it at? Around the saucer edge here. Very little, hardly any putty at all. But anyway, very, very fun kit, and it's going to be just pretty darn slick once it gets some paint on it. But anyway, the Mako Franklin is taking shape. The Bomarc, and I pretty much got it all assembled. I'm working on the little whatever it's called for the little step thing here. Trying to get it assembled, and I got basically the ladder to do on it, and I will be done with it. But anyway, now why? Oh, I know why it don't work, because you got to put it on like that. Gotcha. Learn something new every day. Anyway, waiting for that to dry. But anyway, the Bomarc, I got the launch rail done. There's a couple things I'm going to have to do, and it's not glued in at all. I'm going to have to go in, and I'm not going to sand it. I'm just going to take a piece of styrene strip and get the just lay it across there. It just hide the seam real quick. There's a couple spots I had to sand real quick around the cylinder. It does work, but I got to see once I get paint on it and some more, I hate to say it, styrene, see how much of a weight it holds. Hopefully if it holds its weight, I'll leave it alone. If not, if it wants to fall over, I'll glue it in place. But anyway, there's that. And you can have either option if you want it up or down. So anyway, pretty much all assembled, except for the ladder, which I gotta take care of that, which I'll probably get that done today. The only thing I'm going to omit from the kit is the little figure. He's got him a little bullet hole there in the chest. I know he's a classic, but I'm gonna omit him. I just think I think the vehicle itself is good enough for the model, and it's actually going to sit on a wood base with a little plaque. We won't get to see that. That's going to be off. I'd say it off-site for a veteran that this model was going to. But anyway, that is what I've got going on today. We are trying to finish up the assembly of the Bomarc. The Franklin got assembled. We got some names from Fedoratron.com, and we're trying to do the we are getting the black stripe on the Camaro, and the Big E got its lights. So that's what I got going on today. Stay tuned for the next exciting episode.